Revelations, we are given a description of a beast, which according to chapter 13, arises from the sea and has 10 horns and many heads. One of its heads received a mortal wound that is then healed. The entire world follows this beast, which is empowered by the dragon. The beast makes war on the saints and conquers them. It has power over all the nations of the earth, exploiting the nations of the world economically and demanding to be worshipped. The author concludes his description of this mortal enemy of Yah with the final identifying mark, given for those with understanding. The number of the beast is 666. It is good to know that interpreters have offered numerous speculations over the years to explain this number, and most of these interpreters have been concerned to show that the beast had finally arisen in their own day. Rarely are these interpretations put forth as speculations, but almost always with the confidence of those who have the inside scope. We have heard, we have read, we have watched preachers, televangelists, authors over the years who have suggested such enticing and diverse candidates as the Pope. Some said it was Saddam Hussein, Adolf Hitler. More recently, we have seen interpretations that took the number to refer to even President Obama or to some other figure on the political horizon who may seem the embodiment of evil. But the author of the book, however, was writing for his own day, not for the 21st century. Historians have long known of a group of ancient Jewish books which predict that one of the most hated of the Roman emperors, Caesar Nero, will return from the dead to wreak havoc on the earth, comparable to one who recovers from a death-inflicting blow. This popular belief may have something to do with the number of the beast. It should be recalled that Nero was seen as the arch-enemy of the Christians, whom he ruthlessly and unjustly persecuted for setting fire to the city of Rome. Could he have been the beast described in Revelations 13? We believe so. Intriguingly enough, when the name Caesar Nero, Caesar Neron, is spelled in Hebrew letters, the numerical total is 666. Don't forget the 616. More intriguingly still, the name can be spelled in another way without the final noon, without the final N at the end. The N is worth 50 in the Hebrew numerical system. When the alternative spelling is employed, the name adds up to 616. The author of Revelation was not referring to Hitler, Obama, Saddam Hussein, or anyone else in modern times. His enemy was Rome and its Caesars. It was Rome that had dominated the other nations of earth. It was Rome that had exploited their native populations and oppressed the people of Yah. It was the Roman emperor who was worshipped as divine, who persecuted Christians and sometimes put them to death. 666 points to Caesar Nero.
All praise be to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakha, Ha-Kodash, and double honors to the men of Great Millstone, from the elders and apostles, and to the rest of the brethren on down that's teaching and preaching the true doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Shalom Bayatah Dawadah. And to the Hakim and Akwat that's out to repent, Shalom to you, Bashbakah. It's your Hakarab coming at you with a quick one. And you saw that clip that I showed you in the beginning. So we just go through these, and I'm going to try to make them quick. I don't want to drag this on. I'm going to try to make it quick. But you heard what that guy said. You heard what he said. And it's just something with that guy, because that guy said a bunch of stuff pertaining to us that's here. He said some more off-the-wall ass shit. You know, like we ain't the people and shit. But how ironic that the truth is coming from out of the places where the Israelites were scattered to. How ironic. It ain't coming out of no place where the Israelites wasn't scattered to. Any of our people that's in the so-called West Africa, you wasn't scattered there. You weren't scattered there. We fled. Those of our people during 70 AD, our people fled down there. You wasn't scattered by your enemies there. You fled there. And you motherfuckers don't even know Yahweh Shah name, run around talking about all this Edomite shit, and then you supposed to been down there all the time. One thing's supposed to be passed down from one generation to the next. But they don't got no, they ain't got no hatred towards no Edomites. They joined on to Edomites. They don't find nothing wrong. Oh yeah, they loving them. But I just want to get into this because I want to make it quick. I don't want to run my mouth. But I just want to go. Let's see if he corrected what he said, because he said Revelations 13 and 16. He said what John wrote about. John wrote about his time. He was not writing about the 21st century. He was not writing about our time. So Revelations 13 and 16. You mean to tell me that that's talking about during John's time, and it not ours? When it's literally plainly talking about the 21st century. It's talking about our time now. Literally. So if he said Revelation 13 and 18 is talking about Nero, well then Revelation 16 to 18, that's talking about during that time of Nero, during that time, not our time. See? Listening to that shit, you'll be deceived, and you will go get the mark of the beast. Listen to him, and then whoever got the audacity to call himself a rabbi. You listen to people like that, you'll be going to get the mark of the beast when they come your way. When they stop by. When they stop by your motherfucking house, you'll be picking it up. Shit. You're fucking with people like that. That's telling you Revelations 13, 16, and 18, it ain't talking about this time that we in now. It was talking about then that John wrote about his time. Through, man. But let's get this real quick. Revelations 13, right? Now I'm gonna hit this quick though. Revelations 13 and 1. What is this talking about right here? And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw the beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon the heads the name of blasphemy. See? And upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Talking about these old lying-ass, wicked-ass Edomites. Those 7 heads of that beast. Matter of fact, what was that? Germania Major, Germania Minor, Greece, Spain, France, British, Rome, and the British. That's the 7 heads, right? Of this Edomite, European Union Edomite ass nation shit. Those are the 7 heads right there. The names of blasphemy. See? And what it says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, forming up this beast, creating this beast, and his feet were the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power. And what's the power of a dragon? Fire. And his seat and great authority. Right? And I saw one of his heads as they were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Now, dealing with verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as they were wounded to death. Which one of those heads was wounded to death? The 6th head was wounded to death. Because the 6th head represents the Roman Empire. And when that Roman Empire received that deadly wound, what happened? They was no more. They was out of power now. But let's go get that beast that received the deadly wound, which was Rome, the 6th head. Let's go get it. Revelations 20, verse 1 to 3. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Now, who is that great dragon? Who is that serpent? Who is the devil and Satan? It's talking about the Edomites. And you can go into Revelation, the 12th chapter, but I ain't going to, matter of fact, you know what? Let's grab it real quick. Revelation, the 12th chapter, just to show, it's talking about the Edomites, right? When you come down, right? Revelations 12 and 3. You see right here? It says what? The red dragon and Satan. Who is it talking about? Is it literally talking about the left hand side angel Satan? No. It's talking about the nation Edom. These damn Edomites. See? Because when the Roman Empire was being ruled, who was ruling in the Roman Empire? Slakia. The Edomites. Herod is an Edomite. Ptolemy, an Edomite. Caesar, Augustus, Tiberius, and all they ass, and Nero and all, they was all Edomites. See? But this red dragon is talking about Herod right here. See? And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. See? And what is talking about? The Roman Empire doing in. And who was this talking about? Herod. It says that his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast him to the earth, and the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Talking about when Mashiach, what did he wanted to do? He wanted to kill Mashiach when he was a baby. When you go to Matthew the 2nd chapter, the 16th verse, you pick it up there of what he did. So when he sent his soldiers out, they went across the, matter of fact, let me just grab it real quick. Verse 16, right? And it says what? Herod slaughters babies. And what babies? The third part. Who was the third part? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. See? Because if you got 12 stars, which is the Israelites, and you slay a third of them, what that leave? That leave 9. Why? Although Levi was a part of the 10 tribes, but he was dwelling in Judah with us. So that left the 9. So that's the third part of the stars of heaven that was cast down to the ground. By what? Matthew 2 and 16. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceedingly wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the coasts thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men. You see? Let's grab 13 too. It says, when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. You see? So going back, what is it talking about right here in verse 4? Revelation 12 and 4. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast him to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered for to devour her child as soon as it were born. So you heard what the angel told him. Get Yahushua out of there, because Herod wanted to kill him. Because he thought that was the time that their kingdom was going to be ended, it was going to be destroyed, and they was going to be slaves of the Israelites. But that wasn't the appointed time. See? So let's go. I'm just reading that to show you who this great red dragon is. Who is this devil? This serpent? Who is this Satan? It's the damn Edomites. That's who. See? Now, when you're dealing with that other part pertaining to what? That beast that received a deadly wound? This is what it's talking about right here. Revelation 20. And I saw the angel came down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and the chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. This is talking about what? That 6 head that's received a deadly wound. Wrong when it was destroyed. And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more till 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. Going back to Revelation 13. And it says what? And his head and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after it. What is talking about when the deadly wound was healed? Let's go down to it. Revelation 20. Verse 7. This is when the deadly wound was healed. This is when, after their 1,000-year period, this is when the Renaissance period, they rose back into power. Why? Let's read it. Revelations 20 and 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Is it talking about the left-hand side demon Satan, angel Satan? No. It's talking about the Edomites. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to battle them together, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. You see? So they rose into power, and then what is this talking about? When it says to battle, this is talking about during our time right now. This ain't talking about back then. This is talking about now. See? But for the sake of time, let's go back up, right? Let's go back up. Because when he says what? Verse 7. And when 1,000 years expire, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. And what he gonna do? And shall go out to deceive the nations which are from the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog together. Know what he's talking about? When you go to Revelations, the 16th chapter, right? And let's go down to the 14th. Let me see. Starting at the 13th verse, right? Matter of fact, I start at 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial. When is this talking about? What is this talking about? This talking about now. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water there was dried up, that the kings of the east might be prepared. And I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. For they are the spirit of devils, working miracles, which go forth to the kings of the earth of the whole world, to gather them to the battle of the great day of the power almighty. See? It's talking about now what's going to happen now. See? But for the sake of time, let's get back to it, though. Let's get back to it. Let's go back to Revelations, right? 13. And what it says, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded. One of that sixth head, Rome, when it fell, and his deadly wound was healed. Meaning what? After the 1,000-year period, they came back into power during the Renaissance period. And the world wondered after the beast. Why? You start looking at these people. They came to killing the saints, taking us into captivity, setting up their kingdom. You just sat back and looked at all, wondered after them. Like, look at these people. They rising into power. See, but let's go down though. But let's jump down, right? Because he said that Revelations 13. I'm just blowing through this real quick. But he said Revelations 13. He said all this is talking about during the time of Rome. He don't understand. It's in parts. He don't understand that it was talking about during that time they gonna fall. The Rome was in power. They gonna fall, and then it makes this transition into what? It's transitioning throughout time, all the way up into our time now. See, now when you see this right here, right here, verse 7. Revelation 13:7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints. He was talking about, oh, yeah, see, narrow, they persecuted us then. But verse 7 ain't talking about then. It's talking about now when they rose back into power during the Renaissance period and they came persecuting the saints. That was throughout Spain, Portugal, Ireland, France, Scotland. Do he even know anything about what Oliver Cromwell did to our people that was up there? Do he even know that? This is what this is talking about. Our people that got persecuted during the Renaissance period. This is what it's talking about. You know what I mean? Our people was getting killed and murdered. Babies was getting killed and their heads stomped on and all kind of shit. Motherfuckers don't know history, man. You just wait for these devils to tell you something, and then you don't go search and try to find the real things that happen. But this is what that's talking about right here, verse 7. Because it's transitioning from then to now. See? Now I'm just going to jump down for the sake of time. Now, when does this happen? Verse 9 and 10 was talking about then? I ain't going to even get into that now. Matter of fact, I'm going to go into that tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to go live. But I'm going to get into that tomorrow. But let's jump down to this 11 though, right? And it says what? And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon. What is this talking about right here? Now this is making a transition. It's fast forwarding to our time, the 21st. Now who was this beast rising up out of the earth? It's talking about America when this place was coming into power. This is what it's talking about. And what he do. And he exercised all the power of the first beast. What is the power of the first beast? Rome, their military. And America have exercised that same power by their military. That's how this place was considered strong, by their military. And causeth the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. See? Rome received the deadly wound. Boom. The deadly wound that was healed, same people coming after that 1,000-year period, that dormant 1,000-year period, they rose back up into power. And it's reestablished themselves, the rebirth of themselves during the Renaissance period, all the way up to this present day. Verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire to come down on the earth in the sight of men. What is that talking about right there? What is that talking about? We know what this is talking about. When these goddamn so-called Americans, these Edomites here, dropped the atom bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We know what this is talking about right here. So how can Revelations, oh yeah, John was writing about his time. He wasn't writing about the 21st century. So Caesar Nero them caused fire to come down in heaven in the sight of men, on the earth in the sight of men. And what? And deceiveth them that dwelled on the earth by the means of those miracles, meaning those things that they did, which had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by his sword and did live. It's talking about the same people, man, coming back into power. See? Don't get it. Now, but we just go down and get straight to the point. So you telling me that Revelations 13, 16, and 18, he said 18 is talking about Caesar Nero. So if you say 18 is talking about that the man 666, so you telling me verse 16 is and 17, that's talking about that happened during the time of Rome. That's what he said. So this ain't talking about during our time now, the 21st century. This is talking about way back then, 2,000 years ago. So if you listen to him, will you just go ahead and go get the mark of the beast right now? Go put it in your hand and watch what'll happen. Watch what Yahweh Shema Shai gonna do to your ass. See? And to show you that it ain't talking about then, it's talking about now. When you go to Revelations 14 and verse 9 and 10, and the third angel followed with saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark upon his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath which is poured out without measure to the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of angels and in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, Yahweh Shai. This is talking about when Yahweh Shai returned. See? When you grab 15 and 2, Slakia. When you grab 15 and 2 and what it says, this is talking about what? Those that was saved that didn't receive the mark of the beast. You was in, but we go to 16. What it says? Those that received the mark of the beast. And your ass was breaking out with sores and sicknesses and all kind of shit. But let's jump over though. Revelations 19, let's go down to 20, right? And what it says. And the beast was taken. This time about what? That day was destroyed. Right? And with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he had deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped the image of his beast. These both were cast into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone. What is this talking about? When you go to Revelations, what is that, 16 and 14, like I read, what is it talking about? This is what this is talking about. What it say pertaining to those four beasts, what it says? For they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth to the kings of the earth of the whole world to gather them to the battle of the great day of Yahweh. This is what it's talking about. These motherfuckers gonna be destroyed. It's talking about our time, not back then. See, so when you go to Revelations 20, I'm just blowing through it real quick. Revelations 20 and 4, and it says what? And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years. You see that? This is talking about during the time when Yahweh Shai is going to return. Not then, it's talking about now. And what it says, verse 5, but the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection. Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. On such the second death hath no power. But they shall be priests of Yahweh and of Mashiach Yahweh Shai, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. This is talking about when Yahweh Shai come. See, what is the first resurrection talking about? When you go to 1 Thessalonians, the 4th chapter, 13th verse, what it says. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, you Israelites, concerning them, which, matter of fact, I'm going to read that in the NLT right quick. Right? What it says. The hope of the resurrection. This is the first resurrection, right? And it says what? And now, dear brothers and sisters, you Israelites, we want you what? We want you to know what will happen to the believers who have died, so you would not grieve like people who have no hope. For since we believe that Yahushua died and was raised to life again, we also believe that Yahushua, when Yahushua returns, Yahweh will bring back with him the believers who have died. We tell you this directly from the Lord. What? We tell you this directly from the Lord. We who are still living when Yahushua return will not meet him ahead of those who have died. For Yahushua himself will come down from heaven with a commanding shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet of Yahweh. It's like the trumpet call of Yahweh. First, the Israelites who have died will rise from their graves, meaning you will come back with Yahushua. Then, and this is when it says they shall rise from their graves, it's talking about those that had just recently died. Those that was martyred for the word of Yahweh and had not worshipped the image of the beast, and so that's what who this talking about, right? Then together with them, we who are still alive and remain on the earth will be caught up in the clouds to meet Yahushua in the air. Then we will be with the Lord forever. I mean, why? Because the kingdom of heaven is going to be established on the earth. You see that? So this is that first resurrection. See? So when you go back to Revelations, let me put it back to KJV. So when you go back to Revelations, the 20th chapter, and verse 4, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years. You see that? See? So to receive that mark, let's go back to Revelations 13. So how is this talking about 2,000 years ago? When what it says right here, Revelation 16, and he calls it both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive and mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. What is this talking about? What time is this talking about? Is this talking about during the time when Nero was in Rome and all this shit? How could it? How could it? When it's the same thing for those of us that don't get this, Mashiach he got us. See? So how is this talking about? It's two different time periods. This is talking about now. We're in this time now. But he said Revelation 13 is talking about during the time 2,000 years ago when Rome was ruling. You listen to people like that, they go deliver you right to your death. Calling himself a damn rabbi. So is that guy correct? And what he said? I have to say no. And I'm going to end it off there because I ain't want it to be long. I'm going to end it off there. All praise be to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakah HaKodash. So I got to agree and disagree and say that Romans 13 and 18 ain't talking about no motherfucking Caesar Nero. It's talking about these goddamn Edomites. Now. And I'm going to end it off there. All praise be to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakah HaKodash. Shalom Yasharallah.